and welcome to the Barcast. We are a user-submitted podcast where we interview guests with questions just asked by people who follow us online. And so we're going to be asking some really amazing questions today with our special guests. I'm anonpencil, and this is Ravvij. And have a guest with us. And who are you, and what do you do for the fandom?
My name is Amy Keating Rogers, and I write for, or used to write for, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I wrote on seasons 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 4, and 5. I'm just counting. 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Well, we're going to start off with the most controversial question.
Of course.
Who is the best pony?
That is the best pony for me to write for is Pinkie Pie.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Pinkie Pie specifically?
Because Pinkie Pie is completely bananas, and she is everything that's inside my brain that I don't express in real life generally, except like around my family. Mm-hmm. And you just get to go completely bonkers with her, and it's fine, and it's encouraged. So she's just incredibly fun to write, as opposed to Twilight, who I also love, is challenging to write for because, for me, I'm listening for everybody, for me, because she is, she's the straight man of the group, and she's more just on point about things. Whereas if you're bananas, I connect more with being bananas.
Nice. I wish I could understand how to write for it.
It is a challenge.
All right. Well, we're going to go to our user questions now.
Okay.
We have 5 of them for you. First one is, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your family and friends assume you had done?
Oh.
That's how we do this.
Okay. They probably assume that I punched somebody in the face.
This makes me so happy.
For insulting my son.
That's a good reason, is that?
Sounds like my mom. Oh, God. All right. Number 2, how do you feel about putting pineapple on pizza?
Oh my gosh, it's the second time I've been asked this question, and it's gross, man. Stop doing it.
Yeah, horse.
Why is it disgusting? I mean,
Because fruit does not belong with cheese and tomato sauce. That's just
tomatoes
gross.
are fruit, though, isn't it?
It's a very different fruit. It's not, no. My fruit goes in a smoothie, and that's where that belongs. I don't even really like fruit in a bowl. I like fruit ground up, and I don't know what it is. And then I drink it down, I'm like, well, that was healthy. But pizza, I want pepperoni, and lots of it, and some goat cheese.
Oh, I get you.
The entire Barcast makes happy.
Well, I mean, you can't go wrong with your piece of goat cheese.
I agree. We're in California. We have to get stuff.
Well, my mom used to do homemade goat cheese and show.
So I need to hang out with your mom, we can punch people.
It sounds like you have a lot of fun with Brad's mom.
Oh, God, I'm interviewing my mother. Guys. All right. For one of our favorite questions is, what is your favorite anecdote?
It can be anything about, like, if you're at a con or on your personal life. A favorite story you tell a friend if you're at a bar.
Well, the story that I tend to just tell about myself in general. What's the favorite? I mean, I talk a lot about Jason Bateman. Because Jason Bateman was my boyfriend when I was in 3rd grade, and we kissed. And then he broke up with me. And when I was in 4th grade. And I made a whole movie about this. That's how much I talk about it. And so we broke up in 4th grade, and then I wrote a song for him, and then in 5th, that I performed at a school assembly. And I, between 5th and 6th grade, or during 5th grade, I had really bad headaches, and between the summer of 5th and 6th grade, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, which obviously I'm fine. It was taken out right before school began in 6th grade, and Jason wasn't at school anymore because now he was working on Babscon and Prairie. And then he called my house and he said, "Hey, Amy, I heard you were dead." And
Oh my God.
I guess you guys haven't heard the story.
No.
I wanted to tell it. So I said, "No, I'm not dead." And I explained that my tumor was benign and that I was fine, but my head was shaved, and blah, blah, blah. And then fast forward to when I was 14 years old, I was at something called the Youth in Film Awards. And really my friends were just there to see few famous guys, like see Thomas Howell and John Stamos, who was younger at that point. And then I ran into Jason Bateman. I saw Jason. I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Jason, it's Amy Keating." And he just looked at me and, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead." I said, "No, I'm not dead." And then fast forward to when I was grown up. And I said to my husband one day, I said, "I wonder if Jason still thinks I'm dead." Because we didn't see each other anytime in between 14 and at that point I was 39. And I said, "What if Jason still thinks I'm dead? What if I make a documentary trying to find Jason and tell him that I'm alive?" And so I did that. So I made a documentary trying to find Jason. And it's all about me trying to find him and all of the mishaps and near misses and all this stuff. And it's on Vimeo. It's called Jason Bateman Thinks I'm Dead. And like Tom Kenny helped me. I did some pitches for Danny Phantom, and I actually pitched an idea because in the first season of not Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents. The first season of Fairly Odd Parents, Jason did a voice, and so when I went in and pitched ideas for Fairly Odd Parents, I resurrected the character that he did a voice for. I'm like, what if Timmy's brother Tommy comes back, and they have this whole blah blah blah, their whole thing. And I'm like, and in my fantasy world, it was then Jason's gonna come to the recording, and we're gonna see each other. He's like, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead," and but they didn't. That's not the story they chose, so that didn't happen. So it's like scenario after scenario of me trying to see him and failing, and then I'll just tell you this. So I failed in trying to see him or reunite with him before, like I set a deadline for myself. And then eventually we did end up meeting again. And there's this great interview at the end. But then like 2 years ago, he was promoting a movie, like Christmas Party. You guys remember this
I know
movie?
Christmas Party.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
Party. So he's promoting this movie and he's on Live with Kelly. And they're talking about dancing. And they're like, "Oh, you did some dancing in the movie. Do you like dancing?" It's like, "No, I don't like dancing. Because this girl, when I was a kid, Amy, I invited her to a dance and she made fun of my dancing." And then Kelly Ripa says, like, "Well, where's Amy now?" And he's like, "Well, Amy got a brain tumor." And he talks like all about me in this interview. And so all these people were texting me saying, "Amy, Jason talked about you in this interview." And so then I email him and I'm like, "Hey, dude, I didn't know I traumatized you mocking." I guess we went to this dance and I mocked his dancing. But that's the anecdote I tell people.
That's
That's
pretty
amazing.
amazing.
I think that's the best one we have.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. What advice would you give personally to anyone seeking to start writing for TV and movies, radio, and so on?
Take writing classes. For me, I took playwriting classes. If you prefer to take, screenwriting classes, they're out there. But write and get feedback on your writing. Because as much as feedback and notes suck, they suck. I mean, I've been writing professionally for 20 years. They still suck. There's never a point you're like, "I love these notes. I love getting comments on my work." No, it's always going to suck. But when you get notes, take them and kind of like put them in your brain, put them through like a sifter, like you would sand.
Mhm.
And the rocks that stay are the notes that you should probably stick with. So have your stuff read, listen to notes, write and rewrite. Rewriting is huge. And then as far as getting in animation, getting a script coordinator job, getting a production assistant job. Nickelodeon has a like a writing, I don't know if they call it a writing, it's a writing program. And you submit a sample script and they choose the best, and then you come in and you get to like kind of get trained by Nickelodeon. So but a key thing with writing is having your stuff read and being open to becoming better, not just having your blinders on and saying, no, what I wrote right now is perfect just the way it is, because unfortunately most likely isn't, and it can always get better.
So even taking the bad comments that you get from your work, you can even say, okay, well, this is what they said. Why did they say it? And just go back through your stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, the person might be wrong. It might be bad advice. But yeah, at least listen to it and say, okay, was that character confusing? Was I clear enough? I recently wrote a young YA novel, and I'm working on getting it published. I'm having a bunch of friends read it. I had my sister read it. She's incredibly smart. And like someone I respect greatly. And she's like, I got confused. She's like, I understood it all. I really like the characters. I got confused at this part. And if she got confused, then I'm going to go back and look at that section and make sure it's clear in my head. But if I'm not communicating it well with somebody else, then there's.
So pre-readers are kind of a must.
I think so. Yeah. I have another friend. She went through and she's like, well, what stage are you at? Or, is this, are you sending it off, has it been edited? I was like, no, this hasn't been edited yet. And she's like, oh, so you don't know about all the typos? I was like, no. She's like, I'm going to and I was like, if you want to tell me about the typos, because now I've read it too many times. Mm-hmm. And so I don't see the typos. My eye fills it in. And so she went through and told me where my mistakes were. Like, thank you. Yes, that's helpful. So each thing, and, choose who you're having read it wisely if it's somebody you don't respect their opinion in the first place. But since mine's a young YA novel, I had my 14-year-old niece read it as well, because she's the audience that I'm looking to. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to know, did this seem real? And did I push this too far? Do you like the relationships? Was it relatable? All that stuff.
Thanks. All right. And our final question from our cast, from our viewers. If there's one thing you wish you had been asked but haven't, what would it be?
Gosh. I don't know. I haven't been asked it.
So something you wish people asked more about.
People ask pretty good questions, and then I steer the conversation where I wanted to go. Sometimes I'm like, they should really be talking to me about this. So I'll talk about that. I can't think of anything that anybody's, failed to ask me.
I think it's a very writer thing to do, the steering the direction of what you want people to think.
Well, I think I don't know if it's just right. I mean, politicians do too.
Oh, yeah.
But you answer the question that you know the answer to. Yeah. Signaling things about time. Yes.
Did you want to ask your question?
Yeah, ask your question.
My question?
Yeah,
Maybe
your
that's the
question.
question I haven't been asked.
My question is, what is the thing you are most proud of having written?
Okay. I'm just proud of it. And having written, I'm going to say my novel because it was really hard to write. It was based on something that happened to my daughter, and so writing, and it's fictionalized, but just going, and at points I bumped up what happened, made it even worse, and then it was incredibly emotional, and I wrote the first 7 chapters, and I was like, okay, now I can send it to people, and that's fine. And a literary agent said, I really like it, but you need to finish it. And so then I had to just power through and finish it. And I was really proud of the fact that I did finish it, that I accomplished that goal, because it's a lot of words, it's a lot of work, and I had to do it on the side. I had just gotten my staff position at Disney Junior, so I I was like almost squandered away this time I had off. I didn't realize that I was going to get this gig. And then I was like, crap, but now I have to finish this book. But, I balanced it all and got it done. So that's what it's like. I hope people end up getting to read it.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on with us.
Sure.
And hopefully you don't regret it too much.
No, I don't.
You can ask your question.
Oh,
Yeah, I got 3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes. No, we should probably say one. By the way, our podcast donates all of our donations to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary to help rescue horses. So if you'd like to do that, please look at our Patreon, and if you want to see more fun guests like this that actually have valuable things to say,
Wow.
let us know. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sure.